Hi, everybody. This is Concetta Lewis, and no, it is not Monday. So maybe I will call this Super Saturday. But I've been thinking a lot lately with all that is approaching us and the many changes that are happening within our in the world, in the nation, all the things that are going on. And I just there was some things I think that have been on my mind, and I'm not even sure that I'm able to necessarily articulate all that I'm thinking about or feeling, but just had a couple of things that I wanted to say. One of those things is for those of you that have known me for a while, you know that I started leadership coaching and training probably, I think, maybe 2017. And I called that at the time, I called it leadership teaching and learning because that was what I was focused on, right? Coaching for leadership. And I'm still definitely leadership is the focus of what I do. But last year, God really impressed upon my heart the focus of courageous leadership. And I didn't understand it at the time, but understanding, looking at where we are today as a society, I understand better why now what I really need to focus on is helping everybody understand how to be a courageous leader at this moment, because it takes courage to go against the status quo. It takes courage to break away from what is the norm or what is the expectation or what kind of the majority of folks are doing. It takes courage to stand up for what you believe in. Now, the other thing that I've been thinking about is I am a United States citizen. I am descendants of those who were enslaved in the United States. So I'm not from a family whose ancestors migrated here from a European country. My ancestors were enslaved individuals. And thinking back over, and I was thinking about this a lot last night, the plight or the path of the descendants of enslaved Americans and many of the things that we have had to endure in this country. One of the things that I have come to recognize is that many of those who came and founded this country did not have the ideals of true diversity, that belonging for everyone in what they did, right? And that's evident through just the initial uh, how the Constitution was written. Enslaved folks were counted as two-thirds of people, and all those pieces. But I also understand that sometimes people seek power or authority when they are afraid, right? And so I think one of the things that I want to express is that we have got to let go of fear, right? We can't be afraid of people who think differently from us, afraid of people who have different skill sets than us, right? What I think we really need to learn how to do is to embrace the differences that we all share, because we were all created as very unique individuals. We all have different gifts, different areas of expertise. And what we have to do is learn how to work together as a collective to move forward, right? And again, not be thinking in terms of you really can't, especially as a leader, right? And being a courageous leader, you can't think in terms of it's not about power, it's not being in a position of authority. Um, so we can't think in those terms. So I think one of the things that I want to say is, as a leader, sometimes it takes courage to really put yourself to the back burner, right? And to not think about what can I personally gain from this, but to really think, how again can we move forward? Now, the other thing that I've been thinking about, I know there are a lot of things, and I promise I'm going to wrap this up quickly, is that our country, right, has seen many laws that kind of go back and forth, right? You know, there was separate but equal, and then it was Brown versus Board of Education. And so as a country, we have, if you look at our historical patterns, there are some areas, some things where we tend to go back and forth in terms of, and it depends on what who's in power in Congress, who's in power in the White House. So change is inevitable. That is a part of who we are as a people. But I also think that we are all always learning, growing, and evolving, right? And just because I felt one way about something yesterday, I do have the capacity to learn, to grow, to change, and to see things from a different perspective. And so my hope is that as we move forward, especially in the United States, as we move forward as a country, that we will understand that we as individuals must change, and also allow space for other people to learn, change, and grow, right? And be open to have conversations with one another in a respectful way. But again, really not about, let me prove my point to you, but to genuinely seek to understand what other folks are feeling. So I said all that to say, this is the time for us to be courageous. And every one of us is a leader, and we are all, um, every day there's an opportunity that comes across our path where we have that moment to make that split second decision. Am I going to be the leader who rises to the occasion, or am I going to do something different? So, with that said, I want to encourage you to make the courageous step forward when necessary.